Life will test you, but the test is not meant to break you. It's meant to build you. Every storm you face carries a lesson. Every setback carries a seed of growth. The difference between those who rise and those who fall lies in how they respond to pressure. And today, I'm here to remind you of the timeless principles that turn struggle into strength. Life has never promised anyone a path free from storms. Tough times are not accidents or mistakes. They are woven into the very fabric of existence. Every challenge that comes your way is part of the deal, part of the journey you signed up for when you stepped into this world. Too many people see hardship as unfair, as though life has singled them out to suffer. But the truth is, struggle is universal. Every person you admire, every success story you've ever heard, every example of greatness you look up to, none of them reached where they are without walking through fire. Pain, loss, disappointment, failure, betrayal. These are not curses, they are the stepping stones of growth. When you face difficulty, life is not punishing you, it is shaping you. It is giving you the tools, the wisdom, and the resilience you need to handle the blessings waiting on the other side. Think about it, if life was smooth, if nothing ever tested you, would you grow? Growth does not happen in comfort. Muscles are built by resistance, and character is built the same way. Just as iron must go through fire to be forged into a weapon, you must endure trials to become stronger than you were before. You don't discover your true strength when everything is easy. You discover it when you have no choice but to rise, when everything seems against you yet you push forward anyway. It is in those dark hours when nothing makes sense that you find out who you really are. Hardship reveals character, and character is the foundation of destiny. The danger comes when you misunderstand the role of tough times. Too many people fold under pressure, seeing challenges as signs that they are not meant to succeed. But that is a lie. The presence of struggle is not proof that you are failing. It is proof that you are in motion, that you are moving forward. Pressure means progress. A seed must break before it grows into a tree, and you too must endure breaking moments before you rise into your full potential. Stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? Because every setback has a lesson, and every delay is preparing you for something greater than you can see. Tough times also reveal what you value. When things get hard, you quickly learn what really matters. Distractions fade, fake friends disappear, and your true priorities come into focus. Pain strips away the unnecessary and leaves you with clarity. It forces you to ask yourself, what do I truly want? And what am I willing to endure for it? Comfort never makes you question your purpose, but hardship always does. And that questioning, that refining of your vision, is what positions you to rise higher than you thought possible. It is easy to admire strength in others, but forget that strength was forged in the same type of storms you are facing now. The people you see as unshakable didn't get there by avoiding hardship, they got there by enduring it, learning from it, and refusing to quit. They understood that tough times don't last, but tough people do. You, too, can cultivate that same resilience. But it begins with the choice to see challenges not as enemies, but as training. Every difficulty you face is preparing you for the future you desire. Every storm is watering the seeds of greatness within you. So when life gets heavy, remind yourself, this is not the end, it is preparation. The weight you are carrying is not meant to crush you, but to build your strength. Tough times are not detours, they are the road itself. And if you can keep walking, if you can refuse to bow down to the pressure, you will look back one day and realize that the very storms you once cursed were the storms that shaped you into someone unbreakable. Your mind is like a garden, and every thought you allow in it is a seed. Some seeds grow into flowers, bringing beauty, strength, and inspiration, while others grow into weeds that choke your potential and steal your peace. The truth is, you cannot stop seeds from being thrown into your garden. People will speak negativity, circumstances will bring doubt, and fear will try to creep in. But you do have control over what you water, what you nurture, and what you allow to take root. Too many people let their minds become dumping grounds for gossip, criticism, fear, and defeat. They replay hurtful words, rehearse painful memories, and feed themselves stories of failure until their mind becomes overrun with weeds. If you are not intentional about protecting your mind, the weeds will grow faster than the flowers, and soon you will be surrounded by thoughts that drain you instead of build you. The great truth is that your mind will always believe what you consistently tell it. If you constantly speak words of defeat, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, nothing ever works for me, your mind will accept those as reality and shape your actions around them. But if you speak words of faith, discipline, and courage, I am capable, I am growing, I am prepared for what's ahead, your mind will also believe that, and your actions will rise to meet those beliefs. What you feed grows, and what you starve dies. This is why you must starve fear and doubt, and instead feed hope, confidence, and clarity. Every morning, when you wake up, you are standing in the garden of your mind. The question is, what will you plant today? Negativity is everywhere, but you don't have to let it live inside you. People will try to plant seeds of jealousy, comparison, and discouragement. They will say you can't do it, you don't have what it takes, or you are dreaming too big. If you are not careful, you will start watering those seeds with your attention, and before long they become strong roots of self-doubt. But remember, your garden is yours to guard. You don't have to accept every seed people throw at you. You don't have to believe every opinion. You don't have to allow every negative word to shape your future. You can choose to remove the weeds as soon as they appear. This requires discipline. It means cutting out the constant stream of negativity you consume daily. It may mean turning off the news, stepping back from social media, or limiting time with people who drain your energy. Protecting your garden is not selfish, it is necessary. You cannot produce good fruit if your soil is poisoned. You cannot grow in strength if you are constantly feeding yourself weakness. Protecting your mind is about creating an environment where your best self can thrive. Fill your garden with seeds of growth. Read books that expand your thinking. Listen to voices that inspire courage. Surround yourself with people who lift you higher instead of pulling you down. Replace every negative thought with a stronger, positive one. When fear says, you can't, you answer, I will. When doubt whispers, it's impossible, you declare, it's already on its way. The weeds will always try to come back, but if you keep planting the right seeds and pulling out the wrong ones, your garden will flourish. Your future depends on what you allow to grow in your mind. A disciplined, hopeful, and focused mind creates a powerful life, but a neglected, fearful, and distracted mind creates a life of regret. So guard your garden fiercely. Be careful what you plant, be careful what you water, and be careful what you allow to stay. Because in the end, your thoughts become your reality, and the harvest you reap tomorrow will always come from the seeds you plant today. Your personal philosophy is the compass that guides you through life. It is the foundation upon which your decisions, actions, and habits are built. Without a strong philosophy, life's storms can easily knock you off course, leaving you confused, discouraged, and vulnerable to the opinions of others. But with a strong set of guiding principles, you become grounded, unshakable, and resilient, no matter how unpredictable the world becomes. A philosophy is not just a collection of quotes or ideas. It is the deep conviction that shapes how you view challenges, relationships, success, and failure. It is the framework through which you process pain, setbacks, and opportunities. When your foundation is weak, the smallest challenge can collapse your confidence. But when your philosophy is solid, even the hardest storms cannot break you. A strong philosophy begins with clarity. You must know what you stand for, what you value, and what you refuse to compromise on. Many people drift through life without ever defining these things, which is why they are easily swayed by trends, peer pressure, and temporary emotions. But when you have defined beliefs, you no longer live reactively, you live intentionally. Your philosophy reminds you of who you are when the world tries to tell you otherwise. It gives you direction when confusion clouds your vision, and it gives you courage when fear whispers in your ear. Clarity creates certainty, and certainty creates strength. Your philosophy also determines how you interpret hardship. When your foundation is weak, you see struggle as unfair punishment, and you complain or quit. But when your philosophy is strong, you see struggle as training, as a stepping stone to growth. You realize that difficulties are not there to destroy you but to refine you. With this mindset, you don't collapse under pressure, you adapt, learn, and rise stronger. Every storm becomes a lesson, and every setback becomes a setup for a comeback. This is why two people can face the same challenge, but one crumbles while the other thrives. The difference is not the challenge itself. It's the philosophy that interprets the challenge. A strong philosophy also protects you from external noise. In a world filled with distractions, opinions, and negativity, you need an anchor. People will doubt you, criticize you, and sometimes even try to break your spirit. If your philosophy is weak, you absorb their words and they begin to shape your identity. But if your philosophy is strong, you filter their voices through your values. You no longer seek approval from others because you are already approved by your own convictions. You stand firm in who you are and where you're going. This inner stability allows you to walk confidently even when others misunderstand or oppose you. Another element of building a strong philosophy is discipline. It is not enough to believe in principles, you must live by them. A philosophy only becomes powerful when it is applied daily. Consistency turns belief into character. For example, if your philosophy is built on honesty, you must practice honesty not only when it's easy, but especially when it's difficult. If your philosophy values growth, you must choose learning over comfort every single day. Living by your principles shapes habits, and habits shape destiny. Without discipline, even the best philosophy becomes meaningless words. With discipline, it becomes the structure of an unshakable life. To build such a philosophy, you must constantly reflect and refine. Life will test your values, and sometimes you will realize they need adjustment. Growth requires you to evaluate whether your beliefs are lifting you higher or holding you back. A strong philosophy is not rigid but adaptable. It evolves as you gain wisdom and experience. It is not built overnight but developed through self-awareness, reading, learning, and applying lessons daily. Over time, this foundation becomes so strong that you are no longer controlled by circumstances but by principles. At the end of the day, your philosophy is what carries you through storms. Talent may give you opportunities, but philosophy sustains you when talent alone is not enough. Motivation may push you for a while, but philosophy gives you the discipline to keep going when motivation fades. Life is unpredictable, but a strong philosophy gives you predictability in your response. It ensures that no matter how rough the seas get, you remain the captain of your ship. When others collapse under pressure, you will rise above it. Not because the storm was smaller for you, but because your foundation was stronger. Build your philosophy with intention, live by it with discipline, and let it carry you to a life of strength, peace, and fulfillment. Every single day, whether you realize it or not, you are in conversation with yourself. From the moment you wake up to the time you go to sleep, thoughts race through your mind, and those thoughts carry a voice. That voice has the power to lift you or to break you. It can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. Most people spend their lives underestimating the influence of self-talk, but the truth is, the way you speak to yourself is shaping your future more than any external factor. If you constantly feed your mind words of weakness, telling yourself that you can't do it, that you're not good enough, that you'll never make it, your mind begins to believe it. And once it believes it, your actions will follow that belief. But if you flip the script and consistently speak words of strength, reminding yourself that you are capable, resilient, and destined for something greater, your mind will also believe that. And again, your actions will follow. You must understand that your subconscious mind doesn't differentiate between truth and lies. It simply accepts what is repeated often enough. That is why repeating negative phrases to yourself is so dangerous. It programs failure into your life before you've even begun. You tell yourself you're not smart enough, and suddenly you find yourself avoiding challenges where intelligence is tested. You tell yourself you're unlucky, and suddenly you stop seeing opportunities even when they're right in front of you. You tell yourself you're not worthy of love or success, and you unconsciously sabotage the very things that could have been yours. Words are seeds, and your self-talk is the constant planting of those seeds into the soil of your mind. So ask yourself, what kind of harvest are you preparing for? A harvest of strength, courage, and success, or one of doubt, fear, and defeat? To master your self-talk, you must become intentional with the words you allow inside. Every time your inner voice tries to pull you down with a negative phrase, you must interrupt it and replace it with a stronger one. For example, when your mind says, "I can't do this," respond immediately with, "I am learning, and I am capable." When it whispers, "I don't belong here," counter it with, "I am prepared, and I deserve to grow." This isn't about ignoring reality or pretending problems don't exist. It's about refusing to hand your power over to a voice that was trained by fear and insecurity. You are the one in control. If you don't train your inner voice to serve you, it will work against you. Think of great achievers, leaders, and visionaries. Their success wasn't just built on talent, resources, or luck. It was built on a mental foundation where they repeatedly told themselves they were capable of reaching heights others thought impossible. They didn't allow the voice of defeat to rule them. Instead, they trained their self-talk to align with their vision. You must do the same. Start small if you have to. Each morning, speak life into yourself. Look into the mirror and declare who you are becoming, not who you used to be. When failure comes, don't say, "I'm finished." Say, "I'm learning, I'm growing, and I'm coming back stronger." This shift in language creates a shift in mindset, and a shift in mindset creates a shift in destiny. Over time, your self-talk becomes your identity. Speak weakness and you live in weakness. Speak strength and you live in strength. The world may doubt you, people may discourage you, but if your inner voice is solid, nothing external can shake you for long. Remember, your mind believes what you repeat. So make your words intentional, powerful, and aligned with your highest self. Because mastering yourself, talk isn't just about positive thinking. It's about building the inner environment where greatness can grow. And once you master the conversation with yourself, you master the direction of your life. When you learn to focus only on what you can control, you unlock one of the greatest powers of life. Too many people waste their energy fighting battles that are not theirs to fight, trying to fix people who don't want to change, or worrying about circumstances that are far beyond their reach. They complain about the weather, about the economy, about who is in charge, about what others think of them. But none of these things are in their hands. The truth is, the more you obsess over what is outside your control, the more powerless and frustrated you feel. Life starts to feel heavy, unfair, and overwhelming. But the moment you shift your energy to what you can control, your thoughts, your attitude, your actions, your daily habits, everything begins to change. You discover that power has always been within you, waiting to be claimed. Think about it. You cannot control the waves of the ocean, but you can control how you set your sail. You cannot control the wind, but you can adjust your direction. That's the principle life works on. Instead of fighting storms, you learn to navigate them. Instead of blaming others, you learn to take responsibility for yourself. That shift in focus is what separates the strong from the weak, the achievers from the complainers. Those who waste time wishing life were easier remain stuck, but those who discipline themselves to work on their own mindset, their own consistency, their own daily improvements, begin to build an unshakable life. When you focus on what you can control, you reclaim your peace. Because peace doesn't come from a perfect life. It comes from knowing you've done your part. It's the peace of knowing that you showed up with discipline, that you managed your emotions, that you controlled your response, even if the world around you was chaotic. This is where true strength lies. Most people break down not because life is too hard, but because they waste themselves on the wrong things. They try to change other people instead of changing themselves. They expect circumstances to improve without improving their own actions. But the wise understand that life is not about control over everything. It's about control over self. And once you master that, life bends in your favor. Imagine the difference in a day where instead of complaining, you focus on gratitude. Instead of worrying, you take action. Instead of fearing the future, you prepare for it. That shift alone can change the course of your life. And the best part, this power is always within reach. You don't need anyone's permission to use it. You don't need the world to change for you to start. All you need is the decision to take ownership of your mind, your effort, and your attitude today. So stop giving your energy to battles you cannot win. Stop worrying about the opinions you cannot control. Stop waiting for circumstances to shift before you begin to live. Take the steering wheel back into your own hands. Focus on your discipline, your growth, your inner strength. Because when you control yourself, you control your destiny. And that is the ultimate freedom life has to offer. The company you keep is one of the most powerful forces shaping your future. Whether you realize it or not, the people around you are constantly influencing your thoughts, habits, and direction in life. If you spend time with those who complain, gossip, and give up easily, that energy slowly seeps into you. You begin to think like them, act like them, and eventually become like them. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and push you toward growth, your life takes a different shape. Success is rarely built in isolation. It is shaped by the voices and examples you allow near you. That is why choosing your associations wisely is not optional. It is essential. People are either lifters or drainers. Lifters will support you, speak belief into you, and remind you of your potential when you forget it yourself. They won't let you settle for mediocrity, because they know you are capable of more. Being around them makes you want to level up, makes you want to sharpen your discipline, and keeps your fire alive. Drainers, on the other hand, will pull you down with negativity, laziness, or constant doubt. They see problems instead of solutions, limitations instead of possibilities. And if you let them, they will slowly weaken your spirit until you no longer believe in yourself. This is why you must protect your circle as if your future depends on it. Because it does. Think of your environment like soil. A strong seed planted in poor soil will struggle, no matter how much potential it holds. But a weaker seed planted in rich soil can flourish beyond expectation. In the same way, even if you have great dreams and strong discipline, if your environment is toxic, you will struggle to grow. The wrong people can choke your progress, but the right people can accelerate it. So ask yourself honestly, are the people around you helping you rise? Or are they holding you back? Choosing associations wisely does not mean looking for perfection in people. It means surrounding yourself with those who align with the direction you want to go. If you want to grow in discipline, seek those who live with discipline. If you want to build wealth, learn from those who understand financial wisdom. If you want to strengthen your mindset, stay close to those who think with clarity and courage. The company you keep is a mirror of your standards. If your circle doesn't challenge you, then it isn't your circle, it's your comfort zone. At the same time, guarding your associations requires courage. Sometimes it means walking away from long-time friends who no longer match your vision. It means setting boundaries with family members who only bring negativity. It means having the strength to say no to people who drain your energy, even if they've been a part of your life for years. This isn't coldness, this is wisdom. Because the truth is, not everyone can go where you're going. Some people belong in your history, not in your destiny. The future you build depends on the circle you keep today. If you surround yourself with lifters, you rise with them. If you surround yourself with drainers, you sink with them. Every great achievement has a team, a circle, or a network behind it. So choose carefully, protect your energy, shape your environment, and stay close to those who fuel your fire. When your associations align with your vision, your path becomes clearer, your discipline becomes stronger, and your future becomes brighter than you ever imagined. When you look back at everything we've uncovered, one truth becomes clear: your future is built piece by piece, by the choices you make every day. Failure is not the end, it is a teacher. Patience is not weakness, it is the strength that keeps you steady until results arrive. Discipline is the bridge between vision and reality, and without it, dreams collapse. Protecting your peace, valuing your presence, and guarding your energy are not selfish acts, they are necessities for growth. And above all, the people you allow into your circle will either elevate you or bury your potential. The path forward is not about perfection, it is about alignment. Align your habits with your goals, your patience with your process, and your associations with your destiny. Choose discipline over distraction, resilience over quitting, and lifters over drainers. When you do, you step into a life of clarity, strength, and unstoppable momentum. The world is shaped by those who master themselves first. Now it is your turn. Decide wisely, act consistently, and rise into the person you were always meant to become.